Your mission is kind of designing for inclusivity and accessibility, right? And so I'd love to dig into the story a little bit more of, kind of the catalyst for starting Grind. And so when you were a sophomore, you were like star basketball player, and I know you were climbing the ranks. You were nationally ranked and everything. But unfortunately, you suffered a few devastating injuries, and I was wondering if you can kind of dig into that a little bit.
The idea behind it was always to inspire kids that it kind of came from where I came from, right? I was born and raised on the north side of Houston, inner city, kind of low income family. And I was really frustrated that I didn't have access to this great sports equipment. And I really wanted to build a company that was inspiring and not only was like inspiring like Nike, but also backed it up with like really great products that were accessible to these kids. Or well-designed products are extremely expensive, and I always wanted to kind of bridge that gap. Like, how can we make beautifully designed products that are affordable? I felt like we were given this that kind of secondhand experience as basketball players, just because of business, right? Again, it's really hard, but kind of coming from where I came from, the mission again was to do that and kind of inspire kids that they can be engineers and designers and
Yeah.
they can figure it out. They can be entrepreneurs, right? So, yeah, that's kind of where it came from. And I think to this day, we're starting with the grind machine, but we want to venture off into new products. You don't have to kind of come from a multi-million-dollar family to make it happen. We can figure it out like I did. And you also don't need to be the smartest guy.
Yeah, Thomas, obviously, like if you didn't have the knee injury, with your determination and your perseverance, you'd probably be, playing pro right now, right? And so with that injury, do you think that it made you more empathetic towards the sport? And maybe not just towards basketball, but in general, and how training is approached?
I spent a lot of time playing basketball. And I mean, I remember when I tore my first ACL, it was extremely devastating. I kind of went into this kind of depression state. Taking the game away from me was really, really tough. I fought it back by working harder. And it was just like this dumb obsession with like basketball. I'm just like this like stupid mentality of like, I don't care what it takes. I'm just gonna do 1,000 push-ups today. So I did them, and I was just like doing 3 a days, and I was just like straight Kobe mentality, right? And I loved it, man. I loved it. My coach kind of fed that to me in high school. I owe a lot to Coach Emerson. I kind of took his mindset and put that into the brand as I was building it. But that grind, from like that 5 a.m. grind, that late night grind, man, that was everything to me. So I kind of wanted to take that mentality, and I did it over and over again because I kept tearing my ACLs. I kept on reinventing myself and really diving deeper and deeper and deeper. I was extremely deep. And I realized, I was like, look, I'm not going to get it. I can't even play a full game. So I had to turn my attention to something else. And I just took that mentality and put it towards grind. But yeah, I definitely think that it like going through that period, kind of built something. It built grind, As I was playing basketball, Brian's mindset was like actually being built. When it was time to build the company and the brand and the mission, I just poured everything into that.
Yeah, that Mamba mentality. John tries to resonate that to across the organization here in Asheville too.
I try to do it to this day, and life changes. I have a 5-month-old Jeremiah, so I got to try to find that motivation, that drive.
It sounded like each time you recovered from surgery, you went like harder, and then your body just said no. Like I've reached my limit. Mentally wanted to go harder. Your body didn't let you.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what it felt like. I was like, man, like I really don't care what I got to go through. Like I'll do it, but like my body was like not letting me. So yeah, like how can we build products that like can like tools that I could have had that were smarter ways to work out, right? And instead of doing 1,000 push-ups and throwing my shoulder out, I was like shooting 1,000 shots an hour, right? Doing a reps, right? So just and now how does grind create those products and give those resources and tools to those athletes, so you don't have to go through what I went through.
There's one piece of advice that you can leave with someone who's going through something similar. What advice would that be?
Use the energy. You know, use that negative energy and turn it into something. Embrace the fire, the struggle. Like that's what makes it. You know, that's what makes it worth it. That's what makes the story. And if you work hard enough and you stay in it long enough, your story will be told. You know.
And let's talk about your coach, right? Coach Thomas Henderson. He told you to put a premium on hard work and preparation. Now, could you talk about what that means?
He was crazy in high school. He brought me on as a freshman on varsity in the inner city of Houston. I mean, we just had a school, Yates, winning back-to-back championships in the nation. Right in our backyard. We were in the same district as these guys. So he brought a freshman on varsity, and first day of high school, I spent in the gym at 5 o'clock in the morning working out with the team. When we weren't supposed to be working out. And that was our first practice of the day. Then we had our second practice that day, and then we had 2 miles on the track. And that was literally every day for preseason for like 3 months. So like he brought like an extremely wild obsession to basketball. He always brought this concept of basketball is bigger than just a game, right? It's the actual life, right? So like, why are you playing? Like, don't play for me if you don't have a why, right? Like, then don't just play to play. Like, you can't go somewhere else if you want to play to play. But if you're playing for something, you can play for it.
Sounds like Coach Henderson is a huge impact on, you know, like your life lessons and kind of your ethos and grind. Do you have any other mentors you've had along the way?
You know, in the early days, Zahid and Eric, Tanya, they took me under their wing, believed in this young 20-year-old kid, and were able to bet on him, right? So those guys, in terms of, you know, on the business side, they were instrumental to like the early days of Brian, trying to figure out how to manage the team and do all these other things. So that, and I'd say my mom and dad, man, I do it for them. They're still my why, right? Now I have little Jeremiah, and my wife has a why, but my parents have always been that starting point of like my why, right? So
it sounds like there's some great people in your life that are inspirations to you.
Yeah.
Let's talk about how you're kind of an inspiration to others now, because you definitely are, and it's like no secret you're an inspiration on and off the court. And you know, Mike and myself personally, we just really admire your journey, and also just the community outreach that you do. You're actually going out there trying to make an impact in your community, and the outreach programs that you run. It's really important for young youth to have mentors and grow up with like inspiration to become engineers, designers, or, you know, or pro basketball players, whatever they want to do, right? What do you think kind of inspired you to be a mentor for your community and have that be a core part of grind versus, you know, we see a lot of entrepreneurs, they're just trying to become the next unicorn, but that has been a staple for you.
Our values: purpose, passion, empathy, resilience. And I think the biggest thing for us is to inspire kids, like truly and authentically inspire them. And I feel like kids will listen to somebody that's, you spend the first third of your life learning, the second third of your life earning, and the last third returning. That's how you should live your life, right? If I'm 35, 40, 45, 50 years old talking to kids, right, then it's not going to resonate the same way that a 20-year-old Thomas will speak to them, right? It's just kind of in me just to go talk to kids and just try to be there, try to be in the neighborhood, and try to inspire and try to get them on the right path. You know, I do want to scale that outreach. I still think that it's important to like give back in the early days, because that's when the kids are actually going to listen to you. But right now, I think it's important for me to kind of go out there and speak to them and show them out the hoop, and dribble with them and shoot with them, and, you know, show them what we've done. Right? Show them that they can do it too. We don't have any formal like curriculum yet, although we've been working on something that we want to push out in a year or so. Yeah, I don't have a management background. I'm a sales manager. I'm like a creative kind of guy, and kind of going from starting the company to running the company, very different.
Yeah.
Um,
Yep.
and I had to kind of learn that the hard way and just kind of roll with the punches and tumble and pick myself up and fall and figure it out. So I think that's kind of been the hardest thing. Transitioning from starting a company to running a company has been very weird. Weird in a good way, right? You're learning, but I think that's been the hardest thing.
That's a challenge for like a lot of entrepreneurs, right? From shifting from building something and then like how do you, then it hits that certain stage of growth and then it's kind of beyond just you, the founder. And I think we've faced that as well. And it sounds like we did something similar to you. You have great people that you put in place to kind of like build around you, so it scales beyond you. And I think you're doing a great job at it.
No, I appreciate it. Yeah, just shout out to the grind team, man. We got Elliot, we got EV, Priscilla, we got Brian, who runs our growth. Priscilla runs all of our supply chain. Robert has held it down for customer support. Maurice and came in the clutch with just getting us into every basketball tournament and getting us into the right ears in the basketball community. So yeah, no, it definitely takes a team to kind of make all this happen.
Yeah, we saw recently you made the Forbes 30 under 30 2022 list. I mean, man, congratulations. That's an amazing achievement. Wanted to ask like what that achievement kind of means to you.
That was kind of like the biggest achievement. That was extremely impactful. Aside from having my son, that's kind of been the biggest thing to happen to me. I remember the day it happened. I think the team, I was in the office and the team had saw it, Mo had saw it and kind of showed me on the phone. I was like, oh, wow, is this real? You kind of went on the Forbes website and I'm there, right next to Devin Booker and Jack Harlow. Some of the guys that I looked up to, right, and inspired by. So, yeah, it was an awesome feeling, man. And it didn't kick in until like a couple of days after when it got announced, and then I was just driving to work and it just kind of broke down. I just couldn't believe it, but it definitely set in like a couple of days after.
Well, you deserve it, man.
So we can shift gears a little bit to maybe a lightning round.
Putting you on the spot, asking a bunch of questions quickly, so you're gonna answer right away, all right?
Ready.
What is your favorite part about basketball?
Shooting.
If you could be any one of your sports heroes, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
Ooh, this feat. I love the story, the way he passed, the way he just handled the ball. I think he innovated on the game with his feet.
Favorite basketball shoe?
Ooh, Kyrie's.
Best pre-workout fuel or best pre-business meeting fuel?
Pre-business meeting fuel, coffee shop, healthy. Segundo. Here in Houston, La Mexicana coffee is my go-to.
Okay.
No pre-workout. Okay.
All right. On that note, ice bath or foam roller?
Ooh, I like both, but I'll do the foam roller.
What's your go-to hype up? Be it before a game or training or a meeting?
Definitely some music. Heaven DP by J. Cole.
Thomas, what do you have planned for Grind that you can talk about?
We have more products planned for Grind. We have a software platform that allows people to earn these products by shooting. So that's really cool. And we have a physical co-location.
Any NBA pros or college collabs that you can talk about that's maybe in the works?
I can't talk about them, but I would say maybe five pro collabs that we're speaking to.
Lastly, what do you think is your proudest moment in this entire journey with Grind?
Honestly, and selfishly, I think it was making Forbes 30 under 30 for my family to see that. I think that was inspiring. The other thing that I think was huge is just the stories that we hear from customers. Hey, my son just scored 30 points because he's using the grind machine every day.
Is there anything else that the audience should know?
Shout out to the grind team. We couldn't do it without you guys. Yeah, shout out to Hatch Bureau for helping us get to the start line. Once we got to the start line, we were off to the races, man. Thank you guys for having me. It's always great speaking to you guys. Maybe Grind is due for some Hatch Bureau conversations for some new products.
Sounds exciting.
Thomas, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us about your founder story. We're so thrilled to see you not only Grind's growth and success as a product and as a product company, but your own personal growth as an entrepreneur and community leader. Truly an inspiration and positive role model to those around you, and we can't wait to see what you and Grind achieve in the future.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Thomas. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Let's hatch awesome.
Let's hatch awesome.